Hey, it's me. I'm back. Week 8. Best way to do it is to just do it, like I always say. Ravens and Buccaneers was the first game of the year. And yeah, the Ravens, like I said, continue to be, Lamar Jackson doing Lamar Jackson things, and it will keep happening until the end of the year. This dude needs to be paid yesterday. And the Bucs would be considered one of the worst teams in football openly if Tom Brady wasn't on this team. Say what you will. Yeah, the Buccaneers have been really bad this year, but they still have this level of, they could be good. They're really good. They're really good because they have Brady, and this team just isn't good at all. It's bad when the 2-5 Panthers are playing the 3-4 Falcons for the lead in the division. We'll get there eventually, though. But yeah, Ravens beat the Buccaneers on Thursday, and it happened. I've literally stopped watching the Thursday night games because I feel like, why am I'm not watching it tomorrow. Like, literally, I'm not watching the Eagles beat the shit out of Houston for 3 hours. Next was Broncos and Jaguars in London, and the Jags continue to struggle. They had those 2 weeks where they looked real good, and now they're back to Jaguar stuff. Trevor Lawrence has to come into question. I still think a lot of that team does need a little bit better receiving core. They should be a little bit better than this. They should what they could be. Those 2 weeks I was all raving about them, but now it's back to the way it was. And the Broncos, they do win. Not convincingly, but they win. I'm still not impressed with Denver in the slightest. I think this team is not at all what anybody expected. Russ still isn't cooking, and Seattle is taunting him. Basically, not taunting him, but saying like, look at how much better Seattle's doing than Denver without him. It's kind of embarrassing. But Melvin Gordon and Latavius Murray, now the last 2 running backs in this roster. The Broncos are just, it's a circus at this point. Not a circus. Next was Dolphins and Lions, and the lack of defense in this game was honestly concerning. The Lions are in almost every game this year. This is what they do every year. They are almost in every game they play, but yet they have yet to put together these wins. And I get Dan Campbell has built this culture there that's really nice, but you have to start showing that you're winning. Now with them trading TJ Hawkinson to the Vikings and gives Goff one last weapon that he doesn't use anyway. The Lions continue to be bad, even though they are talent-wise not the worst team in the league. Dolphins Tua finally starting to, like I said, it was going to take Tua a week or two to get back into his groove, and yeah, he's good now. We're good. Hill, Waddle had both of them had absolutely monstrous games, and this Dolphins team is beyond super impressive when Tua is healthy and he can sling it to both of those guys. I'm genuinely impressed with the Dolphins from on Sunday. Next is the Cardinals and Vikings, and yeah, okay, this wasn't a bad game. It came down to the end, but like I said, the Cardinals, 1 week they're really good, next week they're really bad. Most like up and down team in the year, but they had a really good game today. Even though MW2 was out recently, the Cardinals played really well. They were in it till the end, and again, not Kyler's best game, but it wasn't a bad game. The Vikings, though, continue to be one of the most impressive teams to me. They are winning these games. They're winning against the teams they should. The only team they've lost to so far is Philly, and everybody that Philly's crossed is lost. I get Philly has Philly has an easy schedule for the most part, but the Vikings are a legit team. I think this team might actually have a run at it this year. I don't know. They're not beating the Bills, but I think they could make it far in the playoffs. They're definitely going to win their division at this rate. So Bears and Cowboys, and Justin Fields for the Bears playing. He's getting better. Can't say he isn't. But the Cowboys absolutely bodied the Bears. Defense bodied them, offense bodied them, and that play where Micah Parsons picked up the fumble and Justin Fields jumped over him and just didn't touch him was questionable. Whatever. Now let's talk about the game. I literally forgot what was happening at every point on Sunday and yesterday, and now no matter what day, I had to look up a list of the games on Sunday because I couldn't remember if the Saints played or the Raiders played. But yeah, they did. And the Saints and the Raiders didn't show up. I'm convinced that they just didn't show up to the game and they just played it, because I did not see one thing that the Raiders did. Devontae Adams had 1 catch for 3 yards. That's all I know about that game. Saints, yeah, they got 24 points. Cool. Seriously, what? How? They are so. What happened? in that game. Whatever. The Steelers and the Eagles. And the Steelers continue to impress me with how much they get dominated when TJ Watt's not there. The Eagles did whatever they want. A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts ran the same play 3 times and scored on it 3 times. The Steelers defense could not contain A.J. Brown the slightest. And by the third quarter, the Eagles pulled all their starters and called it a day. That game could have got way uglier, and it was 35-13. There is something seriously wrong with Pittsburgh, and Steelers fans are not ready to feel the kind of pain that like a Panthers fan feels on a daily basis. The Steelers are one of the worst teams in football. I'm willing to say that. I don't look at any of their games and say, wow, I think they can win this game. Oh, I'm not even trying to be funny. And, Kenny Pickett, whatever. It's his rookie year. I'm not going to criticize him too hard. I'm not big into that. The rest of this offense, Najee Harris should be doing better. I get their offensive line's really bad, but Najee Harris should be doing slightly better. And now, especially now with Claypool being traded to the Bears, how is this offense going to look come next week? It doesn't get easier from here for the Steelers. But the Eagles stay undefeated. Good job. Patriots and Jets. Hey, Pats, good job. You made Zach Wilson look like shit. Good job. Yeah, Patriots didn't play well. Mac Jones didn't play amazing. It was just that, Zach Wilson played worse. Neither of the quarterbacks in this game played good at all. This game was defensive and whatever. Mac Jones played well enough to win, and Zach Wilson just played worse enough to lose. It was just a matter of who wanted to lose it more. Now, let's talk about the best game of the week. An emotional roller coaster that had me crying, laughing, crying, and then crying. Falcons and Panthers, and I gotta give it to the Falcons here. I have to. They played really, really well. Mariota looked good. Everybody on that team looked good today. Panthers defense did not play well. The Falcons, they really did look like a complete team today. But Carolina, PJ Walker is the franchise quarterback. Dude has been playing out of his mind in the past 2 weeks. Whether it's sustainable or not, I don't really care. I'm just here to have a fun time. But that ending had me struck. Whatever word you want to use. That pass to DJ Moore at the end was phenomenal. Dude couldn't keep his helmet on. Whatever. A kicker should be able to hit that in a fucking dome. Eddie Pinheiro misses it, goes into overtime. Interception, takes it down to the 20. Proceeds to then again miss another field goal. This fucking dude. He honestly better be on his couch this week. That irritated me because the Panthers should have won that game, but they didn't. And Young Wei Koo was automatic like that, and he don't miss. Titans and Texans, and the Titans, yeah, it was a semi-close. It was a one-possession game, but the Titans look fine. They look a lot better than they did at the beginning. They're winning game after game after game, and the Texans don't look bad. The Texans keep getting, like I said, Dameon Pierce is getting better with each week, and this Texans team isn't horrible. Well, they're bad, but they're not playing like the worst team in football. And I think that's a nice compliment. That's the best compliment I can give. Seattle and New York, Seattle and the Giants, I should say. The Giants were on a hot streak, and the team that nobody expected to be this good ends it. The Giants, I'm really looking forward to seeing what this Giants team does from here, because I want to see if now that Seattle beat them, if something will change and they'll go back to the normal Giants stuff, or if they will just go right back to the way they've been playing. I'm curious. Seattle, though, I gotta give it up. I thought week 1 was gonna be a fluke. They were gonna be done. No, every week they just keep beating teams, and they're not beating them like just by the skin of their teeth. They're beating these teams good. Like Seattle, Seattle's beating Seattle, but Seattle being the Chargers, like they beat them pretty decently, and they just beat the Giants by multiple possessions. Seattle might be that team. Like I said last week, I think this team might find their way either now winning the division or sneaking their way into a wild card. This team, I believe, will make the playoffs at this point. I'm shocked to say that. Commanders and Colts. Sam Ehlinger I forgot. Matt Ryan was even the starter. Sam Ehlinger didn't do as bad. The game was a 1-point game, but Sam Ehlinger kept the game close, I guess. I mean, both these teams suck, so what is there to say? Yeah, the Commanders and Taylor Heineke, they did fine, I guess. But the Colts, they're just the fucking Colts. They're just not. They're just one of the worst teams this year. That's all I gotta say, I guess. The Rams and the Niners, and the Rams continuously show me that this team is not repeating. They are not going back to back. They got dogged on by the Niners. This team that was, last year, they were winning games, by a lot of points, and they were scoring fast with Cooper Kupp. Now they're putting up 14 points, and I get the Niners have a really good defense. I just find it strange that the Rams keep doing, they just keep losing these games. When we all know, they just won a Super Bowl. We know they're good, but yet they keep losing these games, and they're barely putting up any points in these games. But the Niners continue to go right back to looking like one of the best teams in football after their loss last week. CMC finally, CMC looked really, really good today. The defense looks phenomenal. The Niners are good. This team could go deep into this playoff run too. I don't see any team. There are very few teams in the NFC I would say are better than the Niners right now. Prime time, Sunday night, Bills and Packers. Everyone probably at the beginning when we saw this on the schedule a couple, however many months ago. Everyone thought, this is going to be that game. It's going to be one of the best games of the year. But now the Bills win by 10. 27-17. And the Bills are the buzzsaw. And they're going to probably win almost every game this year. The Packers are bad. The only guy that's playing well on this team is Aaron Jones. I'll say this every week until something changes. Aaron Rodgers is playing bad. Blame it on the receivers as much as you want, but they're not a good team. The Packers are a really bad team this year, but whatever. It's fine, I guess. Let's just move on to Monday night. The Browns and the Bengals. The Browns they win by a lot, but my thing is about this Browns team is that they're not very good, but the Bengals, I guess, they just didn't have it. I didn't get to watch this game. Wow. I'm shocked that, people are going to start this narrative about, Burrow can't win without Chase and stuff like that, but it's, I don't think that's true. I think it was just a bad night for the Browns or for the Bengals, and the Browns are going to go back to their usual bum self next week. It will be good, Hopefully we'll see the Bengals will just dominate the Panthers next week, and we'll see that everything's not true. But hey, that's it for week 8. Here are the power rankings. I will see you guys next week. Bye.